Hello there, welcome back to your stable friend. Let's get right to it. Today, because of some stuff that I read last week on social media, I want to talk about an issue that gets very heated, as many of these issues do. Growth and getting on a horse too young. What does that look like? What does it cause in the future? And what is too young? Many people want to use horse racing as some sort of well, they do it in the racing industry. Well, let me tell you, as the human of at least half a dozen off-the-track horses, they do it, and I'm paying for it now because at the age of about 15 or 16, their soundness goes right down the toilet. Why? Because somebody was sitting on their back and exercising them before their joints were finished growing, before their bones were developed, and before their growth plates were closed. And yes, it is true that a horse's legs are done growing by the time they're 4 years old. The legs have pretty much closed up and are formed very early on, like by 3.5, most of those bones and joints are finished. But what's not finished? You can do this on your own. You're going to Google an equine growth chart, okay? And when you do, you will see that the spine is not finished growing and developing until the horse is 6 years old. And then after the spine is finished, what's still going to finish closing and growing? The pole, the extremely important pole. That pole is so important. And also the withers. And what's most notable if you look at a growth chart, the jaw. The jaw and all of this mandible stuff doesn't finish growing until the horse is 6 years old. So if you are schooling a 3-year-old and you're sitting on a back that's not developed and you are putting a bit in that horse's mouth, oh, it's only 20 minutes a day, 3 or 4 days a week, even just that, you're messing with the growth. You are messing with this horse's growth. And you are inviting a lifetime of trouble. Terrible TMJ issues, all of mine have them. Kissing spine, all kinds of problems with the lower back, with the sacrum, lower back problems, hip problems, pelvic problems. How many of you have your horses see an equine chiropractor? It's always the same issues. And why is that? Because we're getting on them and asking them to do too much too soon. Too young. Too young. And the sad thing is there's so many other things to do with your horse before it gets to the place where you need to ride it. And those things that you would do would only help your riding. Developing the relationship, bonding, learning words, learning skills around the stable, playing. Playing develops intelligence and creativity and cleverness and quickness and all sorts of things. All of the things that you can do on the ground until the horse is 4 years of age. At 4 years of age, at least we have most major things developed and closed. So if you wanted to sort of get your horse started around 4, okay. I mean, it would be awesome if you could wait until 5. You know, when I was younger, I've been an equestrian since I was, 9 years old. I had a lot of falls, and not just off of the horses, just in the stable area. There's a lot of opportunity to get hurt, doing all kinds of things, tripping over stuff, getting pulled, a million things. And I always would go away from any of my accidents going, I'm fine, feel great. Well, guess what? Sometime in the last 5 or 6 years, I woke up one morning and I was like, oh my God, I think that's the fall from 1986, or oh my God, that must have been the time that I came off going cross country in 91. As we get older, we feel all of the bad stuff that we didn't feel when we were little, when we were younger, when we were full of adrenaline and full of life and joie de vivre. My mare Mercy, perfect example, she was always trying to injure herself. She had an accident where she was playing and rearing and fell backwards. And I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And she jumps up and like, I'm fine. Well, you know what? She's not fine now. She's not fine from anything that happened to the track. She's not fine from any of the injuries that she told me, I'm fine. No, when we get older, we feel it. And if you're going to have your horse forever, isn't it in your best interest to make sure that horse has a soundness that lasts well into that horse's old age? Don't you want to offer some longevity of soundness? Horses, thank God, are living a lot longer. But don't you want your horse, if he or she is going to be around, to be sound and to be comfortable? Even if you decide to give that horse a retirement, wouldn't it be nice if the horse had a sound retirement and was comfortable? I mean, we're all probably going to have a little, arthritis or soreness or feel some age stuff from things that happened and things that we did. But why compound that with starting them so early? What they do at the track is a travesty. But you cannot use that to to support you in justifying why it's okay for you to start your horse at 2 years old, because they start horses at the track at 1 or 1.5. That's so wrong. So you're justifying it by using an example that is doing something that is so unethical and basically criminal. They're not interested in a horse's longevity. How many racehorse owners do you know that have kept their racehorses? They're in syndicates, people have them as investments. We all know what happens to them. But they're not the only ones. They're starting dressage horses early. They're starting the big leg horses early. They're starting the hunter jumpers early. There shouldn't be horse show classes for 3-year-olds. You shouldn't even be seriously riding your horse at 3. Not if you're interested in a long-term soundness. If you want to ride your horse at 3, then I'm telling you right now, you are really upping your chances to end up with kissing spine, TMJ problems, all sorts of hind end lameness. Yeah, sometimes the legs hold up for a long time because they were done growing at 3. You're absolutely right. But the rest of that horse, the part that you're sitting on, the part that you're trying to engage, the part that you're trying to get round, the part that you're trying to find some frame, those don't develop until the horse is 6 years old. 6 years old. So you don't have to take my word for it. If you have a phone or a computer, you can just Google an equine growth chart and then apply some simple human common sense to the growth chart and understand why it's better to wait. Why are we always in such a rush? Why are humans always in such a rush? All good things take time. And if you want to have a beautiful relationship with your horse that is healthy and sound for a long time, you will take your time and you will let your baby be a baby and you will start your training a little bit later. Enjoy the journey. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey, subscribe.